Well, hey, it is good to be with you guys. Kevin, it's good to be with you.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce yourself,
Yes.
and then we'll get into the story a bit.
Well, my name is Kevin Josue Rivas Ibarra. You just call me Kevin. That's a little bit confusing. Just call me Kevin, Kev. With Hispanic families, you usually have 3 names and 4 last names, but it's a culture thing. But just call me Kevin. He's Josh. I'm Josue. So it's Kevin's fine. And I've been married for 15 years. I have 2 kids, amazing kids. I am personality-wise, I am a Enneagram Type 8. I'm a challenger, and it comes out in many different ways when I talk to my kids, when I preach, when I talk. So let's see. 4 years old. I've been doing ministry since I was 6 years old. My dad opened up a church in LA, and I was the pastor's kid. I was the pastor's, the youth pastor, the all the different hats that you can wear, all of it. So been in ministry for a long, long time. Met my wife, married, had some kids. We ended up going to Westside Vineyard in California, and then pandemics hit, and we decided to see what this new transition for us looked like. And one of those transitions was what does God want for us in the coming years? And that was a very reflective 2 years for us. And so here we are. We decided to make this trip, and we met with Josh.
Yeah, so we met through a mutual friend of ours, Jimmy Reyes, and you guys were pastoring. You were pastoring La Viña that was in the Westside Vineyard.
Yep.
So part of that. And what I love about your story is you didn't just come, you and your wife, and there's 4 couples, there's 4 families that have decided to do this together. For a heart to plant a Spanish-speaking church, Vineyard Church, La Viña, in Houston, which would be the only one in Texas, because there's no others at this point. And so, as a church, the Houston Vineyard, we've said, okay, come, let us be a place where you can settle, where you can get your feet on the ground, figure things out. You guys were figuring out where, a lay of the land, where do you think God was calling you? You've settled on the Pearland, Friendswood area. And in that also, the idea of how to church plant has changed drastically. And so what I want to do is have this conversation. You've probably seen Kevin and the team around, whether they're helping to lead worship, or they're in the kids, or coffee, or Alma and Manny, who are helping with the youth right now and pastoring them. You guys have been around. And typically what we would do is this would be a church plant where you guys come, and then at some point we do a Sunday and we'd hug you guys and pray for you, and then you'd go out on your own and figure life out. But in response to what you see God doing, it's changing a bit. It's a different way you guys are going to approach this differently than we've typically approached church planting.
Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of insight into that.
Well, definitely adapting a lot to the changes. And I just want to add, I thought we drove bad in California until I came to Houston. Holy moly. But that's a different story. I mean, we're talking about adapting and changes. And one of the things that we were realizing through this transition of pandemic is that church planting was not and cannot look the same just because of all the things that have changed in the last 2 years. Typically, when you plant a church, you have your central church, your mother church, and then from there you start planting off and have different satellite churches and campuses. And we're feeling from God that we can do that a little bit backwards, upside down maybe, where we start working with the churches that are already established, the English ministries that are already established, and start planting in Spanish expressions in those churches. And that's an amazing opportunity because it's already established, and we are coming in just really filling in an opportunity for the community. And like Josh said, there are no Spanish La Viñas in the entire state of Texas, which is crazy to think about. So we have an amazing opportunity. So I feel like that's a good opportunity for me. My personality is like doing things a little bit different, and that definitely feels different. There's no blueprint for it. There's no model for it. So it's exciting to be a part of something like that.
And for us, I think, like as a Houston Vineyard and even then Pearland with Kurt Attaway and his leadership there is saying we really want to see something, a move of God in our city, more than we really care about what happens to our individual church alone. Like we really want to be about the church of Jesus. We really want to be about a move of God in our city. And the best way we know how is to do this relationally and to take some risks together. And so for us as a church, that means that, the team, as they go out to plant, will look different. It'll be a little bit longer of a process. We'll see them around, and then they're going to have some nights in Pearland for worship as they begin to sort of identify what ministry looks like in that context. It means for us, like Kurt and yourself and I, a lot of meetings to sit down and talk through things. And we want to invite you in on this. And what I'd like to invite you as a church to do is to be prayerful and to be praying about what this looks like for Kevin and his team, but also just to reach out when you see them to talk to them, ask what's happening. And if there's a night of worship in Spanish in Pearland, let's get out there and support what God is doing in Pearland with Kevin and his team and us, because we're a part of this. We get to play a role in this by just our presence in the process. And then, Kevin, I think the other thing for us, as it looks like dreaming together, right? And so for you, if we were saying, hey, we're committing to really praying for you guys, and as you guys dream really big dreams, what's a way we can pray that's pretty specific?
I think as we're starting this, I think a good way that you guys can help us pray is pray for the team. I think that if there's no unity and there's no accountability, there's not that camaraderie with the team, then it's not going to work out. So as you can imagine, with family and anything that resembles a team, there's always challenges and tensions, and we believe that what we're doing is something that we have received from God, and we know that there are going to be challenges. So if you can pray for us, the team, as we start moving forward, that'd be great. I believe what God said, that we're going to be known to the world that we are His disciples by how we love ourselves and or each other. And as a team, I feel like that could be one of the points, the pressure points that the devil can attack, so this cannot continue moving forward. So that's one of the things that's really big in my heart. If you could continue praying for the team.
Yeah, and I mean, for the Houston Vineyard, we have church planting in our DNA. It's been a part of who we are. It's not just what we do; it's who we are. And this is a great opportunity for us to lean into the relationships with each other, with the other vineyards in our area and other churches in our area, to see how church planting could look different in a new season of the life of this church and a life of the city. So we thank you, and please, say hi, get to know Kevin, the team, talk to them, find out some things that you can sort of encourage them in over time, and realize that we get to play a role in this, and this gets to be a fun sort of experiment for the kingdom in this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for just opening the doors, and Josh, thank you so much for just receiving us and challenging us to dream big. Thank you for receiving us. For it doesn't go unnoticed. The people that have approached us, and it just makes us feel so welcome and like a family, and that's really important to us. So thank you so much for everyone that has come out of their way to really receive us with so much love. Thank you so much.
Well, we're excited.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
All right, see you guys.